Onto this story, women are paid 23% less for doing the same work as men. UN Women says this leads to a lifetime of inequality. It says more and more people are going into poverty. The situation is being made worse as more women than men have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. So today on International Equal Pay Day, we are joined by Onyi Waneri to discuss this further. Thanks so much for your time, Onyi. We really do appreciate it. I cannot believe that we're still having this discussion in 2021 about equal pay. Speak to us about why it remains so unequal for women and men, and why women are paid so badly compared to men.
Thank you for having me, and thank you to your listeners. I cannot agree more. We are sitting in 2021, and we are still in a position where majority of our women in the continent are still paid far less than their men. And I think the reason from all research that we have seen is related to our socialization. Many of the countries in the African continent have adopted great constitutions that look to an equal society and a society that is inclusive in nature. But the challenge we have is that from our place of socialization and our practices have not mirrored the intention of the constitution or the laws that we have in the country. And so it will take ordinary men and women who are intentional about creating equality in our country to change the status quo in terms of what we want to see when it comes to equality of gender pay, and recognizing the role that women play in society, that without women, being remunerated in the same way for the same amount of work as men, then we will never really unlock the true potential of our economy.
And it just seems as though it's getting worse and worse. And even though, we don't want to use COVID-19 as an excuse for exacerbating the situation, we do understand that the World Economic Forum warns that another generation of women will still not see equal gender pay in its lifetime. The time it will take to close the global gender pay gap has increased from 99.5 years to 135.5 years. It just seems as though it's getting worse, isn't it?
It is definitely getting worse, and the truth is that COVID-19 has exacerbated, the current position. If you look at the South African context in particular, the quarterly labor force survey that came out for Q2 in 2021 is showing, as we speak, that there is more likelihood of men to be in paid work than women, and that in fact most women are sitting in unpaid work across the country and the continent. And this is supported by the recent Stats SA report that we've seen that is showing that currently we have 36.8% unemployment in the country when it comes to women compared to men at 32.4%. And there's more and more stats. If you look at just in terms of the richest people in the country, the billionaires and the millionaires in the country, the richest are still men. Trailing behind, I would say in a dignified manner is women. And if you compare it to the fact that South Africa sits in a position where it has one of the lowest paying, what you would call nominal, lowest paying jobs in the country, in the world, in terms of what you would call your rate per hour, it's still sitting at 21 odd rand per hours worked. When you look at it in relation to, how much less women are getting, when you compare that to men, then it really it means that we need to think seriously about what we can do as a society, our attitudes towards the world of women. And we're not saying that women should be given preference. We're just saying that women should be treated for the same amount of work that men and women should be treated the same, should be paid exactly. And it speaks to the value we put in terms of our women and our girl children.
Sure, and it's all got to do with skill and capability. I think I wish we could discuss this a little bit more, but thank you so much for your time, Onyi Waneri, from the Group Executive for Strategy, Partnership and Communication from Africa Tikkun.